Look at the regulations governing 1099s, and you'll see at a minimum, you may not even have to have a Social Security number put on the 1099, and you may not have to file a 1099 at all. And that's what the regulations say. Now, I recognize that the IRS will still try to enforce it as if these are requirements.
Well, it's indentured servitude. They're making you report on other people in what should just be an open transaction, which is prior restraint and is antithetical to a free society.
That's right. I mean, everybody knows we didn't have to live through World War II. We can read enough about it to know that it was citizens reporting on each other that enabled the tyrants to take over and keep control. So we've got the same issue going on here. Why are we reporting on each other? And why are we reporting to a tyrant? You know, it's one thing to tell somebody something about someone else, but when you're telling it to a tyrant, somebody with a known track record, as you say so often.
That's right. I mean, if I see some, absolutely, one time there was this grocery store, gas station that became a drug dealing operation, and they were obviously running all sorts of stuff out of there. It was really seedy and gross. So I did tell the Austin Police Department about it. I said, you obviously know this has been turned into a drug dealing brothel house right here off William Cannon, right by my house. I don't like it. And nothing was ever done. I'm just saying that was the local police I told about that, though. I would never call the IRS tyrants, even on my enemies, because then I would be complicit in the tyranny.
You're exactly right. And, you know, we have to recognize the IRS for what it is. It's a tool, okay? Individual IRS agents, a lot of them are probably, you know, good people, hardworking. But, of course, the thing that I fault them for is not, again, recognizing that if the agency is harming their fellow Americans, our fellow Americans, then they need to speak up about it. And what's been sad but not too surprising to me is how few IRS agents, you know, followed me out the door. And I don't mean to puff me up like I'm some, you know, great thing.
But you did lead. It was a pretty big group, but statistically very small. And a lot of those IRS agents are in prison right now.
Well, for example, Sherry Jackson. I mean, she paid a lot higher price than I've had to do, and of course that's why I don't like being called these names like hero and these things. I've had it pretty easy, especially when you think of how people have fought tyrannies and tyrants throughout the centuries. You know, what did I have to do? Go to court and prove my innocence? I've been very fortunate, but there are people that are still suffering even today, and you know, I know there's a lot on our plates in terms of keeping track of all the ways that the tyrant is inflicting harm on us. But we can't give up, as you said. I'm not going anywhere. It sounds like you're not either. We have families, but then our families are getting in the fight, and that's all we can do.
Well, that's what's great is that your children and your wife, everybody supported you. So many people. Like Wolfgang Halbig and others, you know, his family's not supporting him, and you know, he's still going forward. And it's just so crazy how corrupt it's gotten, and that a cop, because you know this goes on, but to watch this cop plant that taser on the guy he's just killed, that's why the cop's now going to go to prison, is because, you know, he could have said he was scared or thought he had a weapon or whatever, and he'd have got fired. Now he's going to go to prison, because he would just cold-bloodedly kill somebody and then try to defame them by framing them. It makes my head spin.
Well, I'd like to remind everybody that, you know, the Constitution requires an oath that each federal employee, each worker, takes an oath to support and defend the Constitution, not their supervisor, not their agency, but the Constitution. So the founders, the Constitution designated each and every employee, each and every worker, that they had an obligation,
a watchdog,
to defend the Constitution. Correct. And when you have everyone policing themselves, how much safer is everyone when that's going on? But unfortunately, in this day and age, they'll take an oath to support and defend the Constitution and never having read the Constitution.
And then they'll go to Southern Poverty Law Center training where they actually demonize the Constitution and say, look out for people that talk about it, and you've sworn an oath to it.
Exactly. But isn't it kind of funny how it actually becomes, when they attack you, and this is something I've found grudgingly, is that when you get attacked, it actually gives you tremendous opportunities. when you were attacked by Piers Morgan. Look what you turned that into.
We probably got 50 more stations out of that and incredible support. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Going through the fire, being persecuted, at least in my life, because of Providence or whatever, has only made us stronger each time. But then I see people they've killed, they've put in prison. That's why I'm exactly. I mean, if I get put in prison and tortured to death, yes, I'm going to be a hero, folks. And I don't want that to happen. If Joe was in prison right now, you could say he's a superhero, like some of the other folks out there. But in a world of cowards, it is heroic to do what you've done, Joe. And you went against the peer pressure. And, you know, they have studies that show that physical valor is more common than moral valor under peer pressure. And it just takes a lot to go against that peer pressure. And if we had more people like you in the government, it wouldn't be so out of control corrupt. We're going to go to break. We're going to go into Overdrive 2. Michael, I promise I'm going right to you. Then Joseph. Then we're going to talk to Dylan, Aaron, John, and others. We got 2 segments left. Plenty of time to get to your questions and calls with Joe Bannister. I know you're all over the map, but he can speak to all of it. Michael wants to talk about government drug dealing. Others want to talk about corrupt police. We got Sheepdog calling in, wants to talk about Intel.
Hey, Boomer! I learned in school today that 60% of our bodies are made of water. Good thing we have the Berkey system. It's the cleanest, best water ever. Mom says it's because the Berkey's filtration system cleans out the bad stuff and leaves only pure, delicious water. I know, right? You love it too. Yeah, I'm thirsty too. Let's go get some. Get Berkey clean water by calling 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653. Or visit GoBerkey.com.
Hey everyone, you know, Mark and I were talking the other day about Guns80.com and how people really want ghost guns. They want 100% privacy. So Guns80.com is allowing you now to call them, give your address, and they'll ship you out with a money order or some very private instrument. You can work that out with them. They'll ship you out a gun in like a brown paper wrapper so no one even knows you have it. No records will be kept. To be 100% private. But you got to call them. 844-2GUNS80, 844-248-6780.
InfoWars Life and InfoWarsLife.com is extremely excited to announce our latest release, Winter Sun, a revolutionary type of vitamin D3. Winter Sun is a premium quality vitamin D3 nutritional supplement. It is produced by extracting oil from healthy, nutrient-dense plants known as lichens. Every batch is analyzed for purity and D3 content. It's completely free of toxins and allergens. Simply put, if you want the best at an extremely low price, this is it. Winter Sun is the result of our pursuit of the best source of vitamin D3. The research and development took over 2 years, but the result, as verified by independent laboratories, is the best vegan vitamin D3 product in the world. Read the facts at InfoWarsLife.com about Winter Sun Vitamin D3. Not only does vitamin D3 promote a healthy mood, but vitamin D supports our memory and brain function, something the globalists are targeting. Visit InfoWars.com today or call 888-253-3139.
It's very easy to be a criminal. All you need to burglarize a home is one simple household tool, a pair of scissors. If your home security system can be compromised by a criminal using scissors, then you're making it easy for them. Almost every home security system, even those sold by big-name companies, has a weakness. The phone line. You shell out $1,500, get locked into a long-term contract, and think you're safe. But a burglar can destroy your alarm in seconds with one snip. And when a burglar cuts your phone line, you're defenseless. Simply Safe Home Security is the smarter choice. Built by Harvard engineers, Simply Safe uses a wireless connection to call the cops. Scissors can't cut it. And that means your home stays safe. 24/7 professional monitoring is under $15 a month with no contract. Simply Safe Home Security keeps you safer than the other guys for half the cost. Protect your home with the alarm you can trust. Simply Safe. Go to simplysafedefense.com now for an exclusive 10% offer. That's simplysafedefense.com.
Don't want no shackles on me. Good old Jimmy Vaughn bringing us in. Briefly, Weldon Henson in the shipping department just said, oh, hey, we were moving boxes around and found 2 boxes of Super Female Vitality. That's like 80 bottles. And so that's been sold out for about 2-3 weeks. There won't be more in for a few weeks. It is super high quality, just natural concentrated herbs that supercharge. And it supports the broadcast, your purchases. InfoWarsLife.com. We've rolled out the new Child Ease. That's a formula of concentrated known compounds, not drugs, to calm and smooth out children. It's not a sleep aid, but it works on adults as well. That's available right now at InfoWarsLife.com. Joe Banister is our guest, agentfortruth.com, and does some of his own programs as well, and is an author. Michael in Florida, you're on the air. Go ahead, and thank you for holding. What did you want to bring up?
Yeah, hi, Alex. Yeah, I've never called in before. I've been a big fan of yours for a few years. I heard you talking about the government drug dealing earlier, so that's when I picked up and dialed, because it was weird, because my father, he was in the Green Berets for like 25 years, stationed in Fort Bragg, and now he's older, been retired for a while, and we're just out there drinking coffee the other day with my brother and him, and he was telling us about back in the 80s, they had a airstrip in Smithfield, North Carolina, where they were doing drills and everything. And this also shows the compartmentalization, because my dad, I mean, he was like in the midst of it, you know. They're there, like planes are landing with CIA, like C-130s, like you always say, like little biplanes, like, so they're there. Then all of a sudden the DEA shows up, and my dad, who's there, doesn't have a clue what's going on. They know there's drugs there, but they were told they're confiscating them and disposing of them. And then the DEA just took it over, the whole thing, over the...
Yep, and then they take it, and they sell it.
And then it was funny, because then the next thing I said was, because my dad, he's like brainwashed by Fox News and all that. He's a good guy, but I was like, yeah, Oliver North. As soon as I mentioned his name, he's like, that's a conspiracy theory. And he was there and seen this stuff, and you still can't even talk to these people.
Oh, I've interviewed the CIA people, Terry Reid and others, who saw Oliver North with the Clintons at Mena. And it is just, it is over the top. God bless you, Michael. Amazing call. Thank you for holding so long. I tend to have guests on earlier, run out of time, and I hold the callers. Other talk show hosts just hang up on everybody. I don't do that. I try to get to everybody. I want to go to Joseph here in a moment and others, but Joe Banister, I mean, just another example. My dad's uncle, I call him his uncle because my dad called him uncle. He lived across the street. He was really his first cousin, but older. It was his mother's sister's first son. He worked in super secret, corrupt stuff, and then said no to it and got out of it as an Army officer. I remember when I was a kid, you know, what he was like, and he told my dad all this stuff. I mean, but I mean, beyond that, the Army hit teams they've got in the U.S., you name it. I mean, the public is so naive. Joe Banister?
Well, yeah, Michael brought up a great point about compartmentalization. It was actually, you know, I was compartmentalized in the IRS, working in the criminal investigation division, compartmentalized away from the auditors and the collectors. But once you lift the veil off and you actually lift away the compartments and see the bigger picture, you can see how your particular tasks actually help the tyranny. So, you know, I would, again, encourage people to look at the bigger picture, see how you fit into it, and then you can make a more informed determination as to whether, you know, you're actually helping tyranny, you're actually helping to steal from your fellow Americans and take away their rights.
Absolutely. We're going to race through calls when we come back. Joseph, you get a chance to talk to Joseph Banister. Then we're going to take the calls in the order they're received. I might even go into more overdrive to get to everybody. Joe Banister is our guest. I'm Alex Jones. Stay with us, Infowars.com. The globalists do not want that website out. Tell everybody, folks. Come on. It's a fight. I'm going 100%. We need your support. For all of recorded history, civilizations around the world praised the health benefits of silver. At InfoWars Life, our mission is to bring you the highest quality, purest, cleanest, effective colloidal silver on the market today for the lowest price available. You don't have to be a doctor to know. The fall and winter months are the most dangerous time of year in North America when it comes to you and your family's health. InfoWarsLife.com is very excited to announce our biggest run yet of Silver Bullet colloidal silver, exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Now, InfoWarsLife.com has taken colloidal silver to the next level using a cutting-edge technique that is free of toxic artificial additives. Now more than ever, it's important to stock up on high-quality Silver Bullet from InfoWarsLife.com. No survival chest is complete without Silver Bullet. Secure your silver bullet today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. Silver Bullet.